Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 11th episode of Two Bros, One Pod. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about running backs. We're going to be speaking about the 30th ranked all the way to the 16th rank, and let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
Yo, how you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been a long wait. It's been a couple busy weeks for us, but
Very busy. Very busy.
Yeah, it's been a wild 2 weeks. But hey, we're back. Like you said, we're gonna do the first part, I guess you could say, of our top 30 running backs. We already finished the wide receivers. You guys should go check that one out if you haven't done so yet. And today we'll just get started with that. We'll get number 30, like you said, up all the way up to 16. And then next week we'll finish it off. So fantasy football is getting closer every time we speak.
Bro, a lot of things have happened since we last recorded, right? So the first, well, not official game, but the Hall of Fame game for football started. Yeah. Well, it was played. The Premier League has begun. The Bundesliga has begun. So, there's a lot of things now that we could speak about. Obviously, we're still going to be talking about football, fantasy football, but now we're going to start to bring in soccer a little bit more. And so you guys are going to be hearing a little bit more in the EOE, especially for soccer.
Yeah, for sure. The leagues are back, baby. We had a lot of friendlies, obviously, throughout the summer, and it was cool. We didn't really talk about them too much just because at the end of the day, they're just friendlies. But now, like you said, the Premier League officially started, the Bundesliga started, Ligue 1 started, and I know Serie A and La Liga are next weekend. So, I'm excited for it. I can't wait. There's a reason why I'm wearing this jersey. Obviously, I'll be honest, I only have one running back jersey, and I'm saving that for next week.
Is ugly.
The shirt is beautiful. The shirt is absolutely beautiful. The color scheme was phenomenal. A lot of people didn't like what they did with the badge. I personally love it. I think it looks dope.
Now, honestly, I gotta give credit to Barca on that. The badge does look very nice.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it because it's not the original color scheme. Whatever. I like it. It looks nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I only have one running back jersey. I'm saving it for next week. So this week I figured, you know what? The leagues have started. La Liga starting next week. My club is looking good. So I might as well just save it, and we'll talk about soccer in the UE, like you said. Let's focus back to football.
Yeah.
I only have one running back jersey. You, I believe, have multiple, and one of them you have on right now, and it's pretty nice.
Yes, I was debating if to wear this one today or next week, because I'm not gonna lie, this one is my all-time favorite right now in my little collection. I currently have 3 running back jerseys, but this one, as of right now, is like my favorite one. Why? It's just because it has a little bit more I guess it touches home to me a little bit more. Why? Well, obviously Saquon Barkley, my Giants, but also, is the theme, the military theme, and me being a military guy, it's like I had to get that. So when I got it, I'm like, man, I'm in love with this jersey. I'm in love with it. So I was like, you know what? I think since it's the first running back episode we're gonna do, it's only right if I started off with this one. So beautiful.
It makes sense. Sentimental value.
Oh,
it's really nice. Like you said, Saquon Barkley, the Giants, love the guy, love the team, obviously, even though they hurt us every year. But yeah, I think it's a really nice jersey. It's different. I like when they do it like that. Speaking of jersey, real quick, just before we move on, the new jersey that they're bringing, like the new like throwback jersey that every team is doing, or like throwback helmets, they're so fire. Like, honestly,
not just the Giants, but
the Giants, obviously,
every team,
but every team has done it, whether it's jersey or the helmet. And like, I kind of want to collect from every single team, even as like those like little miniature helmets that they sell. Like, I want to get them because they look so dope.
Yeah, they really do.
We'll see how that goes out.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
But yeah, our jerseys, a little bit different today. Obviously opposites, even though we're doing football, but I already explained why. And let's just get straight into the rankings.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. So at number 30, and this might come as a surprise because he may go high. He could have gone higher for me. Honestly, I didn't put him in the rankings for wide receiver just because he has been a little bit more been utilized as a running back. But apparently it seems like this season, since they did draft a running back, they might be utilizing him a little bit more as a wide receiver. However, I still think that running back spot, since they have that rookie, is going to be split like right down the middle with
Okay.
between these two guys. So at number 30, it may have been cheating a little bit. I kind of have both of them like, this guy / this guy up at 30, right? Because I really don't know who's going to be the starter here. But regardless, whoever's going to be in the backfield, I feel like the other guy is going to do enough to cut into his production for him to be 30. So I have Patterson and Algier. So last season, Cordell was running back 9. Now, you look at that and you're like, damn, you're putting him from running back 9 to running back 30. That's a big difference. The reason why I have him, so low is because, again, they drafted a running back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you got also a rookie quarterback, right? And so it's like you can, I'm not really huge on rookie quarterbacks. There's only been like a good handful of guys that have really made an impact on their team as rookies. And I don't think this guy is up to their level, to their stature, right? So he was running back 9 last season, right? He played 16 games. He had 153 attempts, 618 rushing yards, 52 receptions, 548 receiving yards, and 11 touchdowns. I see him regressing, and I see him having a little bit more like the season that he had towards 2020 than the one he had last season. Okay. In 2020, he also played 16 games. He had 64 attempts at rushing, and he had 232 rushing yards. He had 21 receptions, 132 receiving yards, and only 1 touchdown. Now, I do see him being a little bit better than 2020 because 1 touchdown he's not going to get 1 touchdown. I see him getting like, between 5 and 8 touchdowns, but I feel like he's going to be utilized a little bit less at running back just because they do have Algier there. So they're going to be utilizing Cordell a little bit more in his original position, which is wide receiver. However, I feel like Algier is going to be struggling a bit, which is why they're going to be forced to put Cordell back at running back. So I feel like they're going to be splitting too much time that they're just going to be there, ranked at number 30. And the toughness of the schedule is not that favorable. It's literally 1 out of 5 stars. So it's pretty tough. So I have him at number 30. Now, at number 29, I have Breece Hall from the Jets.
Okay.
Now, again, this guy's a rookie, but I feel like he could definitely make an impact to not a huge splash, but definitely impact to be top 30. I think he's going to do great. However, just not enough to be a full bell cow or the clear number 1. I'm a huge fan of Carter. I like him a lot. Yeah. He was amazing, at least in my opinion. I don't know why the Jets went to go get another running back, why they had to draft another one, because I feel like their guy was Carter. But, them drafting a running back this early is definitely concerning. But again, I think Carter's still going to be there, and he's very good. And the schedule that they have is pretty easy. It's 4 out of 5 stars. So I have him at number 29 just because I do feel Carter, same thing. He's going to be kind of going in there and competing for that spot a bit. So that's why I have him at number 29. At number 28, I have Sony Michel. Now, I know in the depth charts, I understand he is the 3rd running back. Okay, behind Chase Edmonds and behind what's Mr. Injury Prone? I forget his name.
Raheem Mostert.
Mostert, thank you. Yeah, behind Mostert. And there's a reason why I have him at 28. So last season, Sony was running back 32, right? He played 17 games. He played every game pretty much. He had 208 attempts. He had 845 rushing yards, 21 receptions, 128 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. Now, I feel, and again, this is just a personal opinion, I feel like he's going to have an amazing season with the Miami Dolphins. Okay. He's going to have an amazing, very explosive offense where they're going to be on the field a little bit longer. They're going to be seeing a little bit more red zone targets. They're going to be in the red zone a little bit longer. Now, why do I have him here and not Edmonds or Mostert? I think Mostert, I see him getting injured. I just feel like he's such injury prone. He's just going to get injured again. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, it's going to go down.
Yeah, we never hope for that, but it's probably going to happen.
Yeah, that's honestly what I see. All right. I can't tell the future, but that's what I think. Yeah. Now, so that leaves Chase Edmonds. And honestly, between Edmonds and Sony, I see Sony outplaying him. Okay. There's a reason why Edmonds left the Arizona Cardinals. He was the starter. They ended up picking up Connor. What happened? Connor rightfully took over. Literally took over and was like, Edmonds, we don't need you. Okay. And people were very skeptical about Connor. They were like, bro, like, this guy, he's an injury prone as well. I was like, I said it from the beginning, and I think this is going to be the same case for Sony here. Listen, he's going to a warmer weather. He's going to be going to a where, he's going to be able to stay healthier. Honestly, I think it benefits him. I think he's going to be even better with the Dolphins. Okay. And then looking at the schedule, it's easy as well. 4 out of 5 stars. That's perfect for him. It's going to be perfect. I think he's going to outwork Edmonds and Mostert. Sadly, he's going to get injured. He's not even going to factor into the 3 running back competition. So yeah. Yeah. So I have him at 28. At 27, I have AJ Dillon. Now,
not mad.
It was very iffy. It was between him and Jones. I'm not saying I don't have Jones ranked, but it's very tough to rank 2 players from the same team.
Right? Yeah.
In the top 30. It's very tough. But I feel like if any team has that, is the Packers, especially with the quarterback that they have. They still have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'll tell you this, just to spoil something real quick. I have a couple players from the same team in the top 30. That's all I'm gonna say. But go ahead.
Okay, cool. Adams is gone, right? So they're gonna have to rely a little bit more on their running backs. Okay. We all know Aaron Jones can catch the ball from the backfield. He can catch. And we've kind of seen that also from AJ Dillon. He can catch the ball as well.
Yep.
Just I feel like they're definitely going to be utilizing both running backs, one mainly for, as a pass catcher and the other one as the bruiser. I think Dillon is the no-brainer. He's the bigger, maybe not more explosive, but, the bigger, stronger running back.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're definitely going to be utilizing him more. Last season, he was running back 23. He played 17 games. He had 187 attempts, 804 rushing yards. He had 34 receptions, 313 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns. Okay. Now that's like amazing numbers, right? And then you add in there Jones. It's like, well, how did he do all this with another starting running back in there? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's definitely, he might regress a little bit. Why? Because I feel like they're going to be off the field a little bit more than last season, than the previous seasons, just because they don't have that deep threat that they used to have, since Adams left. So I do see him regressing a little bit. I see him also getting a little bit less touchdowns. He had 7. I see him maybe getting 5, maybe 4. That's just me. That's just my opinion. And like I said, the toughness of schedule is 3 out of 5. So he's very average. So I have him as 27. And to finish off at 26, I was very iffy about this one, but ultimately I ended up going with J.K. Dobbins at 26.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. Now, obviously, he didn't play last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got injured. Mm-hmm. But in 2020, he played 15 games. Okay. Had 134 attempts, 805 rushing yards, 18 receptions for 120 receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns. Okay. I see him doing the same as he did in 2020. If he can stay healthy. All right. And that's a big if. Now, obviously, he's not the only one suffering with injuries. You also got Edwards back there, who also had the same exact injury. But I just feel like Dobbins is the more promising running back, in Baltimore. Yep. But I just feel like Dobbins is so talented that if he can stay healthy, he'll be able to get back in there in that top 30. So that's why I have him at 26.
I'll say this before I go into mine. Every ranking we've done, tight end, quarterback, wide receivers, we've definitely had shocks. We had moments where you're like, what? Too high for me, too low for me, and vice versa. But I would say I think your first 5 have been decent. There's one that I won't have in there. You'll figure it out. I do think J.K. Dobbins is a little low. I know the concerns. Yeah, I know the concerns.
Okay, so that means you have Dobbins higher.
Yeah, he's my number 1. I know he's obviously coming back from a tough injury, and he has a running back literally right in front of him in Lamar Jackson. But
yeah,
I think he's just good enough. But you'll see where I have him. Let's just kick it off. Here's my number 30. It was funny to me when you mentioned AJ Dillon and how you said, it's hard to have 2 players from the same team in the top 30. I have like 4 of them. I have like 4 of them. And you'll see why. If we're starting off with one right away. Tony Pollard at number 30.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
I think he's really, really good.
You know what's funny? That for my number 30, I was stuck between Pollard or Patterson and Algier. And last minute, I ended up going with these guys rather than Pollard, which means I don't have Pollard ranked.
That's fair. Listen, I
But
had a fight with Pollard and the other people. They're also not ranked. But I don't want to mention it. Maybe you
yeah,
have him. That's why. But Tony Pollard ended up fitting into my 30. I just feel like he's a really good running back. Zeke, every season, like we mentioned last time, every season it seems like, well, Zeke looks as healthy as ever. This is the healthiest, the slimmest,
yep,
the strongest, the whatever Zeke. And he ends up like doing well because of touchdowns. He gets into the end zone a lot.
yeah,
But overall, his stats have declined every year. And Tony Pollard is the other way. Tony Pollard is looking up. Now, another big factor to me is there's no Amari Cooper anymore. Michael Gallup might not play. James Washington just got hurt for them. So really, it's Zeke, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz. And as good as that sounds, you need another body there. And I think that body would be Tony Pollard. And I know they like to line him up in the slot. He's a good catcher.
You're
of the ball.
convincing me.
I'm telling you, I really think Tony Pollard.
I think I may have just messed up.
I think Tony Pollard could slip into 30. Now, keep in mind, I don't know about you, but for me, from 30 to like 24, 25, 20, maybe 23, these are players that I would put like at a flex play. I don't think they sneak RB2. These are just like, you got to really pick the matchups. And I think Tony Pollard is like the first one there. Like, I think he could have inconsistent value. Like, there might be games where he goes off for like 15 points, just like there might be games where he goes for like 6, So he's a very iffy one. But also keep in mind, if you manage to get him, even if he's your RB3, RB4, not only could he do good like every other week, if Zeke goes down, Tony Pollard's going to go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If Zeke gets hurt for some reason for 3-4 weeks, Tony Pollard can help you get into playoffs, maybe win the league.
Damn.
I'm telling you, bro. Tony Pollard's the guy every year. Going from 2019 to 2021, 86 attempts, 2019, 2020, 101. Last year, 130 yards. Obviously, going again from the bottom up, 455, 435, 719. This is where it gets me, though. 2019, 15 catches, 107 yards. 2020, 28 catches, 193 yards. Last year, 39 catches, 337 yards. This is a player that every season they're just progressing more into the passing game. And again, with no Amari Cooper, with Michael Gallup being a big question mark, with James Washington being out, they need somebody else to catch the ball besides CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz. And what better way than having Tony Pollard in the slot or running a quick screen? I know Zeke could catch as well. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But they want to keep Zeke fresh. And I think Tony Pollard will get more reps. So I got Tony Pollard at 30. I think it's a good spot for him. Honestly, wouldn't shock me if he ends up going higher, but I think 30 is fine. I like him a lot at 30.
I honestly agree. I agree with you rather than my 30.
Hey, listen. That's the beauty of these rankings. There's a couple times where you're just like, wait a minute, damn, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
But let's see. Maybe I end up being wrong. Maybe he's just a flop. But I think he's a good.
There's no way. I don't see it. Man,
at number 29, I have one of your guys. Another running back that's the RB2 in his team, AJ Dillon.
Get out of here. Okay.
Yeah. AJ Dillon, I think you summed it up perfectly what the Packers have. AJ Dillon is 100% the bruiser. It's not to say Aaron Jones is a weak one or he can't run through tackles. He could easily. Right. But AJ Dillon is he's so strong. He looks like Saquon Barkley without the receiving skills.
Yeah, he does.
He's so strong. He's so big. It's hard to tackle him. And he showed it last year. I mean, this guy is a bruiser, like you said. He had 187 rushing attempts, like you said, 803 rushing yards with 7 touchdowns. He did catch the ball pretty often, too. 34 catches, 313 yards.
Yeah, they're utilizing him a little bit more.
They are. And now, like you said, with Devontae Adams not being there, MVS, who, again, is not like a big name, but still a pretty decent weapon in that offense, not being there, Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon will be key components of that offense, So Robert Tonyan still being a question mark for week 1, you really only have Alan Lazard, and whoever else. Like, they have to rely on Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. So, whether one of them becomes the clear catching back, who in my opinion would be Aaron Jones, or they both literally run and catch as equally, AJ Dillon has to sneak into top 30. Number 29 might be a little low. I mean, last season he was RB 23, but
so we both have him regressing a bit.
Yeah, I have him regressing a little bit. Wouldn't be shocked though if he does hit the top 20, but I got him at 29. At number 28, finally moving on from the RB2 stuff for now.
Okay.
Elijah Mitchell.
Ooh.
Last season he was RB26, so not too far off. The reason I have him regressing is as good as he looked, injury prone because he got hurt a few times last season. I mean, out of 17 games, he only played 11. But even with those 11, he had 207 attempts, 963 yards, 19 receptions, 137 catches, obviously 6 touchdowns. Phenomenal stats, right? He averaged 15 points per game. Pretty good. But besides the injury concerns, Kyle Shanahan came out the other day and he said they're 100% running back by committee. They don't fully trust any of the running backs. And he literally said because of Mitchell's injury concerns, like they want to keep him healthy. So I think they're going to scale him back a little bit. Deebo Samuel also just signed a contract. And part of his bonuses include how many rushing yards he gets. Like if he reaches a certain amount of rushing yards, he'll get more money. So that tells me they're going to keep using Deebo Samuel as a running back as well. So it's hard for me to pass Mitchell higher than what he was last season. 26, pretty decent. I think he goes to 28. Injury concerns, the fact that they're going to run a running back by committee scheme, I don't see it being too good for him. At number 27, I have your boy. We literally swapped their positions.
Okay.
Breece Hall.
Get at
Yeah, you had Hall at 29, Dillon at 27. I had Dillon at 29, Hall at 27.
All right, cool.
I have him there for the simple reason that he looks good. I've seen a couple of tapes from him from college. He looked good, really good running back. But I agree. They have Michael Carter, who last season showed he's good enough. Like, he's a really good running back. I don't know why they went for Breece Hall. I don't know if they also want to run running back by committee. Don't know if it's that they don't fully trust Carter. I don't know. Point is, I think Breece Hall's a good kid, a really good player. I just don't think he goes crazy year one. Because Michael Carter's still behind them. The Jets,
and he's so good. Carter is so good.
Carter's good. That's what I'm saying. And as good as the Jets have, as much as the Jets have improved offensively and defensively, they're still the Jets. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're gonna end up throwing the ball much more than they'll run because of the score. But Breece Hall will have enough touches, volume for him to be running back 27, a decent flex play, I would say. A sleeper for sure, though. And then to round it off, at number 26, we're going back to the two running backs and one team strategy. I have a guy who I genuinely love, but I feel like as much as they're saying he's the guy right now, he's definitely top of the depth charts, this, that, and the third. He's going to end up dropping because they just love the other kid so much. At 26, 2 spots lower from last season, James Robinson. Ooh. James Robinson last season was RB24. Really good player, but he did get hurt. Both years, he's only played 14 games. Last season, 164 attempts, only 767 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, 31 receptions, 222 receiving yards. Really good player. But Travis Etienne's there. They love him. I know that the coach came out and said, well, James Robinson is still the number 1 running back. That's all talk. Yeah. That's all preseason talk. And I hate listening to it because that's happened to me a few times where I'm like, yeah? Okay, so that's the guy. Cool, I'm gonna draft him, and then I draft him, and he's not the guy, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Trey Sermon last season, the preseason fantasy star. Everyone
that's the first thing that came into my head.
Yeah, everybody that came to my everybody wanted him in the drafts. Like, oh, let me get Trey Sermon like in the 2nd, 3rd round. He didn't even play really. I remember like
including myself. I was like, man, he's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna draft him. Had him in the bench. I had to let him go. I had to drop him.
I remember 2 seasons ago, I had Stephon Diggs, but I kept hearing talks about Marquise Brown being, the next Tyreek Hill, that they're going to use him like Tyreek Hill. And I was like, damn, you know what? I'm going to trade for Marquise Brown. I traded away Stephon Diggs his first year in Buffalo for Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown ain't do nothing. Stephon Diggs was like the top 5 wide receiver. Like, I hate these coaches talks and the preseason talk. Like, show me. So yes, they say James Robinson is number 1. Yes, they say he's at the top of the chart. I think maybe he does start like that, but eventually Travis Etienne just takes over. It becomes his team. But I think James Robinson does enough to be 26. I think he still has enough talent to be number 26. I just don't know how much workload he gets. So that's why I'm a little iffy on him. And
that's
I think
he
drops.
That's very interesting.
But yeah, that's my 30 to 26.
Okay.
But yeah, should we just move on to 25 to 21?
Yeah, let's do it. It's very interesting that you have him at 26. I like that. However, he's not at my 25, so relax. Okay. So at 25, I have a rookie Okay, he got drafted, and this team, I guess it was right for them to draft a running back, just because the two running backs that they have, it's like none of them really wants to be the starter. Like they both had the opportunity to be starters, but it's like they do good 1, 2 games in a row, and then it's like, you know what? I had my shine. I'm gonna give it to you now. And then the other guy's like, you know what? Thanks, bro. Now it's my turn. 2 games in is like, you know what? I'm gonna give it right back to you.
I have a
And it's
feeling I know who you're talking about, but
let's see. Who do you think it is?
I think it's Cook from the Bills.
James Cook from the Bills
Uh-huh. Yeah.
at my number 25. So I think he's gonna just outright take the starting spot. Okay, I think he's gonna be the hungriest one out of all three of those guys. Yes, they got a running back also in their quarterback, but I feel like Buffalo is not like Baltimore. Okay, they would want to preserve their quarterback's legs until they have no choice but to
But to run
utilize
it,
it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because obviously his arm is amazing, right? So obviously they want to stick to that traditional quarterback role until they can anymore. So I feel like James Cook is going to come out there. He's going to be extremely hungry. I think this kid is going to take over. All right, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna go back on my word. Maybe not from the beginning, but I definitely 100%. I'm willing to bet everything within the first 6 games of the season. He is going to be the starter
I could agree.
within the first 6 games. And I think once he takes over, that he's gonna go off. He's just going complete. He's gonna go off. I see him rushing for 8 touchdowns, and that's just rushing touchdowns. I see him going over 700 rushing yards his rookie season. And I see him getting 300 receiving yards.
Right.
That's just me. So overall, I see him going over 1,000 yards. Now he has something favorable on his side, which is the schedule. It's 4 out of 5 stars, which is it's pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
Okay, and the Buffalo's O line, it's not bad. It's really not bad. So you got Singletary and Moss. If you really combine both their numbers, and let's just say it would have just been one starter, that player would have been good enough to be like top 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top 20, maybe actually.
Top 20. So I have James Cook at 25. I think that's a perfect spot for him as a rookie. I think he's going to be utilized enough where he's going to make an impact. And I just feel like he's going to be hungry enough to really go out there and be a difference maker. So that's why I have him at 25.
Before you move on, I just wanted to say, remember when I told you that Tony Pollard was fighting for someone at 30?
Yeah.
It was James Cook. James Cook was the
Yeah.
guy I was fighting. So he's not in my top 30 yet, but I do agree with you. I do think he takes over. I think he's
A big
better
sleeper.
than
Sleeper.
I think he's better than Singletary. The only issue I have is he might take over so late that, like you said, yeah, they want to save Josh Allen, but let's be real. Josh Allen in the red zone, if he can't throw, he's gonna try to run it in. So
Yeah.
I'm still iffy, but I do like him a lot. So I was fighting with him and Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard ended up winning, but hey, man, I hope you're right.
Yeah, me too. At 24, I think there's going to be the first surprise of the rankings for me.
Oh boy. Here we go.
And I'm very sad that he is this low.
I swear to God, if you say who I think you're gonna say.
I'm very sad that he is this low. However, his team is just not the best. His team is not the best. And as much as I love him, this guy deserves to be in a better team. Okay. And
You're crazy.
Saquon Barkley.
You're crazy.
Saquon Barkley, bro. I'm sorry I had to. He's at my number 24. Okay.
That's
Last season. I mean, I do see him improving from last season. Okay. So that's
I would hope so.
That's good, but just not quite enough. All right. Last season he was running back 30. Okay, so I have him 24 this time around. He played 13 games. Okay, 162 attempts, 593 rushing yards, 41 receptions, 263 receiving yards, and only 4 touchdowns. Okay, I see him improving. Why? Because I do think the touchdown does uptick a bit. I feel like our defense has gotten a little bit better. That is going to have our offense on the field a little bit more. But I just feel like our O-line is just, I don't know, bro. We're just not that good. I think Saquon deserves to have a little bit better offensive line, kind of like what he had in his rookie season. But
keep in mind we drafted Evan Neal, who is a run blocker first.
Yes,
and he's gonna create holes for Saquon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, I understand, but I feel like he's becoming very injury prone, And I feel like they can't go heavy on him the way they did his rookie season. They cannot, bro. And now you got Kadarius Toney out there in the, as a wide receiver. We have to throw a little bit more in order to open up our backfield. Okay. So we can't just keep having Saquon, our number, like just, okay, our first option is going to be Saquon. Our second option is going to be Saquon. And then our third option is going to be either a wide receiver or throw it to Saquon. We cannot do that. So I feel like, the toughness of schedule doesn't help either. He's 3 out of 5. So he's very average, but I don't think he's going to make a huge impact for the Giants this season. Just the Giants as a whole. Honestly, I just don't see us succeeding that much. So I have him at 24. And so honestly, that's why I have him at 24. All right.
Still crazy, but okay.
Yeah. At 23. Now, remember how I was mentioning how at 26 you had James Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that to me is crazy. Why? Because I don't have James Robinson ranked.
Okay.
Okay. At 23, I have his counterpart, Etienne.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, looking back last season, how James Robinson 2 seasons ago was amazing, right? We all remember that season he had. It was amazing. He was in some championship teams for fantasy.
Yeah.
But then they came out drafting Etienne, and literally the talks were Etienne was going to be the starter.
Yeah.
And we were all like, wow, man, they really did James Robinson dirty. Like, James Robinson is this good that he could be the starter, and they just going to come over here, draft a rookie, and have him be the starter. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's why I do agree with you about all these talks, they're just talking, saying that James Robinson is going to be the starter. I think that's complete bull. I think if they were able to say all these things about Etienne last season as a rookie, I feel like him coming back from the injury, they're definitely going to have that still in their head. Like, all right, this guy's healthy. This guy's back. He's going to be our starter. So I feel like Etienne's going to be the starter, probably within the first 3 games, right? They might not want to rush him from the beginning, even though he might be, fully healthy. But I do think Etienne will outperform James Robinson not because he's, I guess, better, because honestly, we haven't seen Etienne play, and James Robinson's a beast. But I just feel like everybody's just so in love with Etienne. And, James Robinson is an undrafted individual that just came out of nowhere, that they're going to just, put all their chips, all their money on Etienne from the beginning, and not even give James Robinson, the opportunity to do it again. So I have him at 23. I feel like he is going to come out with like a little bit of vengeance, a little bit hungry, showing what he can do. The injury definitely set things back. However, he's obviously in a team that's very sucky. Okay, so they're going to be playing from behind a lot.
Yeah.
So the chances of him being on the field and having the game script in his favor is going to be very limited. So that's why I only have him at 23. And the schedule toughness is, again, average as well, 3 out of 5. But I do think that whenever he is on the field, the few times that he's going to be on the field, I think he's going to be amazing. Okay. So again, that's why I have him at 23. At 22, I have, and you had him, I think he was your 27 or 20. No, not 27, because 27 and 29 we swapped. So I think you had him at 28, and that is Mitchell.
Okay.
Right? You had him at 28. Yep. Yeah. So I have Mitchell here. I do see him improving a little bit from last season. He was running back 26, like you said. However, he only played 11 games. So in order for him to have done that with 11 games and be running back 26 is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I see him being healthy this season. I really do. And I just feel like he has no not counting Deebo Samuel, right? Not counting Deebo Samuel.
Right.
I feel like he has no competition. Trey Sermon, obviously, he's been a flop. I don't think he's going to be a difference there.
They don't like him, so.
Yeah, you got Trey Lance there, and Jimmy G seems like he's going to stay. So it's like, who's going to be your starting quarterback?
No, it's Trey Lance. Jimmy G's gone. It's Trey Lance. You'll see. Let's see.
The schedule, the schedule toughness is pretty tough. It's 2 out of 5. So it's pretty decent. But anyway, so last season, you already said it all. He was running back 26. He had 6 touchdowns. He had 963 rushing yards. I do think this season he could reach 1,000 if he stays healthy. However, those 6 touchdowns, I do see that regressing a bit. Why? Just because you got Deebo Samuel, who he was a freaking phenom coming out of the backfield. Yeah. So I feel like whenever they're in the red zone, he's going to be the guy to go to. They're going to be creative with him. He's going to be the guy to go in there and score touchdowns like there's no tomorrow. So I do see Mitchell regressing in touchdowns. So that's why I have him at 22. And to finish it off, I have at 21 Kareem Hunt. Now, the only reason, well, not the only reason, but I have him at 21. Why? Because I do feel like he is an amazing player. And obviously, in any other team, he would be the main guy. All right. Now, I have him this, I guess, high, you would say, is because Deshaun Watson is going to miss 6 games.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I feel like once he comes back, he's going to play amazing. He's going to be utilizing both Chubb and Kareem Hunt, especially Kareem Hunt as the pass catcher. And I feel like he's going to be scoring so many touchdowns like that. He might get like borderline double digits. Okay. Last season, he was running back 49, but that's because he only played 8 games. Okay. Last season was the first time we actually saw him injured. I don't see Kareem Hunt as an injury prone player. Okay. So I really don't think he's going to get injured this season. He's going to be playing most of the games. And I feel like, just some games more than others, it all depending on the game script, he's going to be on the field a little bit more. But regardless, whether depending on the script, he's still going to be on the field enough to make an impact on that team.
Yep.
All right. So the schedule toughness is very average, 3 out of 5. So again, from running back 49, in which he only played 8 games, I do see him improving a lot, which is why I have him, more than doubling that position at number 21.
Okay. I mean, I'll say this. I think your 25 to 21 was decent. Saquon obviously shocks and hurts me, but hey, it is what it is. But I will pick up where you left off. Kareem Hunt 21. Kareem Hunt to me is 25.
Get out of here. Okay.
Now, I agree with you. I think in any other team, a team like Miami, maybe, that doesn't really have a set running back, or maybe even the Niners. Yeah. I think Kareem Hunt, maybe top 10, definitely top 15. He's that good. Like his talent, his skills, receiving back, a bruiser as a running back too. It's nice.
Honestly, him going back to Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, CH is not the guy. Let's be real. He's not the guy.
No.
So I mean, if you went back to KC, oof, what a team that would be.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really have a lot of standalone value unless Nick Chubb gets hurt. But even with Nick Chubb, he's going to be good enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Last season, like you said, he was only running back 49, but he was hurt 8 games only. The only time he played that few amount of games was 2019, where he got suspended. So, but if we go back to 2020, 16 games, 198 attempts, 841 rushing yards, 38 receptions, 304 receiving yards, 11 total touchdowns. This was with Nick Chubb still around. And yes, Nick Chubb that season got hurt a few games, so he was a starter, but that's pretty decent for a backup running back. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Kareem Hunt, like I said, should not be a backup running back, but he is, and he's happy where he's at. If I was him, I'd look for a team that he could be the starting spot, but that's just me. But that's not the case right now. He's the backup in Cleveland. That's the only reason he's at 25, because otherwise he'd be much higher. I think he's a phenomenal player. Skill set is unmatched. And yeah, man, I think he should be in a team by himself, but he's not. So that's the only reason he's at 25. Besides the fact of what you already pointed out with Deshaun Watson being suspended, they're probably going to throw the ball a little bit more. So that's going to help his numbers because he is the receiving back to Nick Chubb's bruiser. But when Deshaun Watson's back, maybe he takes a back seat, but we'll see. I hope he goes higher, but right now I got him at 25. At 24, I have a player who just recently officially, I guess you can say, became the starter for this team. Now this team is pretty bad compared to what they were before. And he is injury prone. So it's a risky one. But I like his upside. You want to take a guess, or should I tell you?
You say he just became the starter.
Technically,
the team sucks. Etienne? I don't know.
No. Rashad Penny.
Oh.
So I really like him. It's just he's so injury prone. He gets hurt every year. And the Seahawks are pretty bad. Their O-line's not that great. They have Drew Lock or Geno Smith at quarterback.
DK Metcalf, honestly, I don't have him ranked.
That's interesting.
That's just me. Just for that, and that's the main reason. Injuries.
Yeah. His injuries is the only reason why I'm like, I don't know if I should rank him, but if he stays healthy, the upside he has is really special. Like he showed it last season at the end of the season. He went crazy,
Yeah.
I think, the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's a very good running back. It's just, again, the injury concerns. If he manages to stay healthy, I think he could at least get 24 where I have him. He, to me, is not an RB2, which is why I told you, I think from 30 to like 24, 23 are like flex plays. Then we move into RB2 territory. But anyways, I got him at 24. I think his numbers improve if he stays healthy. 10 games, 119 attempts, 749 yards, most of that coming at the end of the season. Only 6 catches, though, 48 yards, 6 touchdowns. So that kind of sucks. Hopefully, they add him a little bit more to that mix. With Drew Lock at quarterback, I think he's going to have to look for Rashad Penny a little bit more. I know they drafted this kid, Kenneth Walker,
which is only going to make him more injury prone.
I mean, listen, Chris Carson retired, unfortunately, because of his injuries. Kenneth Walker was good. He was so good. Kenneth Walker was drafted. So, like, Rashad Penny is either clear number one. I wouldn't say he's clear, but I would say right now he's the obvious number one. If he stays healthy, I think he keeps that job. If not, Kenneth Walker is going to end up taking over. And next season, we're probably talking about Kenneth Walker in the top 30. But as of right now, I got him at 24. Not much more to say than that. At 23, this is the first one we'll finally get on point. Your 23 is my 23. Travis Etienne.
Nice.
A good running back from college days. Like you said, hasn't really proven in the NFL. Obviously, his rookie year, he got hurt. Literally, I think it was preseason, so we couldn't see him. He's back now. He's on training camp. They're really liking him. But again, what I said with James Robinson, they say James Robinson's the guy, top of the depth chart, blah, blah, blah.
Bro, it's insane to me. It's insane to me that you have both running backs from the Jacksonville Jaguars in your top 30.
I'll tell you why. Although they're still not great, like they're not a phenomenal team, the Jaguars, they have a generational quarterback because I think Trevor Lawrence is phenomenal. They upgraded at the receiver and tight end position, although I think they still overpaid Christian Kirk, but whatever. Their defense is better. And I'm not saying that they're going to be, a competing team or anything. No, but they'll be on the field a little bit longer in the offense. Trevor Lawrence, second year, probably adjusted to the speed of the league, the intensity, a little bit smarter. I just see Travis Etienne being more of a pass catcher, which is going to help them a lot. That's the only reason why I think Travis Etienne goes high. I think James Robinson still produces, not as much as he did 2 seasons ago, but I think Travis Etienne comes in, doesn't go crazy. It's not like he's going to go 1,000 receiving yards, 1,000 rushing yards, but I think he can hit about 600 rushing yards, maybe 200, 300 receiving yards, enough to get him into 23 for me. I like him. I like his skill set, but I like James Robinson as well. So I can't put Etienne much further above Robinson or deeper into the polls. So that's just my guy. That's my guy. And I like him. I like him a lot. At number 22, I have a running back who, before the rankings, I had him a little bit higher, nothing crazy, but a little bit higher. But then his coach came out the other day and said, I don't care about fantasy football. And I mean, I already knew this. We all knew this already.
Oh, God, Bill Belichick.
Yeah. And this guy has somebody behind him who looks really good, but he is still the main guy, Damian Harris. I like him a lot. I really, really like Damian Harris a lot. He was my RB2 in many leagues last season. And most of my teams, and not all of them, went to playoffs. So that tells you enough. Like, if he was my RB2, he did well. He was running back 14 last season. His stats, it all came mainly from touchdowns. He had 15 games, so he got hurt a few times. 202 attempts, 929 yards, 18 catches, 132, which is kind of the trash part. He's not really a receiving back, but he has 15 total touchdowns, which is really good. Now, I think that regresses. He's not going to keep 15 touchdowns. Not with Stevenson in the backfield. Like, Stevenson is a really good complimentary running back. I don't have Stevenson ranked, but he's in the chip enough at Damian Harris where, to me, he drops from 14 to 22. If he stays healthy, I think he easily hit 1,000 rushing yards. He's really good. He's just not a pass catcher. And then besides, they have Devontae Parker now. They have Jacoby Myers. They have Hunter Henry. So they kind of don't need him to catch the ball. So that mixed with Stevenson, I think he regresses a bit. Definitely the touchdown department. But if he stays healthy, like I said, I think he easily hit 1,000 yards. Think about it: 15 games, 929 yards. If he played at least
Yeah.
one more game, he would have hit 1,000 yards.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
I like him a lot. I wish they trusted him a little bit more, I guess I could say, but yeah, I think at 22, that's a fair spot for him. Not RB14 like he was before. And hopefully, he's to me, he's the first one that like gets into RB. Like he's still a flex play, but he could sneak into RB2 territory.
Yeah.
Number 21, definitely RB2 for me, even though he's dipped a lot from his rookie year, and I loved him his rookie year.
Saquon.
He was RB12 last season. My number 21 is Josh Jacobs.
Really?
Yeah. Josh Jacobs, his first year, 13 games, 242 attempts, 1,150 rushing yards, 7 total touchdowns. 2020, 273 attempts, 1,065 yards, 12 total touchdowns. Then last season, he took a dip, 15 games, 217 attempts, 872 yards, 54 catches, 348 receiving yards, 9 total touchdowns. Good enough to be RB12, right? But you kind of see he doesn't have like, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't seem as explosive as he was before. I don't know what it is. I really don't. And with this new system, I know they're gonna. And I mean, new system and new shiny weapon in Davante Adams, they're gonna throw the ball more than they run. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like Josh Jacobs is gonna be forgotten. They're gonna be like, whatever, you're nothing. They're gonna give him ball enough, but not enough to be RB12. To me, he's RB21. I think from the 872 rushing yards, he probably dips to 750. The 348 receiving yards, I think he dips to like 200, 250. The 9 total touchdowns, I got him dipping to like 7. Davante Adams is going to take way too much away. A healthy Darren Waller will take even more away. Not to mention the weapon that they used so often last season, who, even though, again, Davante Adams and Darren Waller are here now and hopefully healthy, Hunter Renfrow, he's going to keep producing. So those three are going to chip away a lot of Josh Jacobs. Not enough where he's obsolete, but enough where he drops for me from 12 to 21. I really like him. I think he's a skilled player, just not the right system for him, not the right place for him. So I got him at 21. He'll do enough to be there, just not as good as before.
Interesting. All right. Well, at number 20 for me, and this is going to be the first shock.
The second shock.
Well, who was your first? Saquon? Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. So at number 20, this running back was last season, running back 38. Okay. Now he only played 7 games last season. All right. And obviously that's why he was running back 38. But Christian McCaffrey is extremely injury prone. Okay. And so the last 2 seasons combined, he played only 10 games. Okay. Last season, running back 38, 7 games. That's it. 2 seasons ago, 3 games. Okay. That's it. Okay. So having combined only 10 games in the previous 2 seasons, the Panthers have completely destroyed this player. Just completely destroyed him. And as much as, I was looking over the players that I have left, and I'm like, I don't see him being better than all these other guys. Why? Just because I feel like he's not going to be on the field as much as all these other guys.
Okay. So hold on. So you're telling me if you were drafting right now, and let's say your pick is up round 1, pick number 10, the top 3 wide receivers, because I know you'd pick them over him: Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. They're all gone. Your top 7 running backs, let's say, are gone. Christian McCaffrey's up there. And the other names between 7 to 19 are there. You're not drafting Christian McCaffrey.
I'm not going to draft him because I know he's going to get injured.
Okay.
I know he's going to get injured.
All right.
100%.
Okay.
100%. So he has an average schedule, 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. But again, I feel like this guy is just, he's going to start off strong, but then at some point, he's just going to go down and that's it. He's going to be done. Okay. Which was pretty much what happened last season. Last season, he started off good. We're like, okay. Seems like he's back. Oh, wait a second. He got injured. Couple games. He came back. Oh, yeah. He got injured again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I feel like that's it. Like CMC is no more. No more.
That's bold. That's
No more.
bold.
Yet still good enough that he made my top 20.
That's
Okay.
bold.
So I have him at number 20 for that reason. Okay.
Fair.
At number 19, I have somebody that you had at number 22 in Damian Harris.
Okay. I like it.
All right. I like Damian Harris. We both see him regressing. Okay. So we could both agree on that. I just have him slightly better than where you have him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Like you said, he was running back 14 last season. I have him at 19. 15 touchdowns, which is insane.
That's
But
wild.
one thing that I do think is I do see the touchdowns regressing. However, not much. Okay. Because I feel like Bill Belichick is an expert in, if something worked out for him the previous season, he's going to keep utilizing that.
Yeah.
So I feel like in the red zone, it's just going to be the Damian Harris show. Okay. I see him regressing, maybe not even much, like somewhere between 11 and 13 touchdowns. So it's not that much of a difference.
Okay.
I do see him going over 1,000 yards. Why? It's just because, again, going back to Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick knows exactly how to control a game. If he doesn't want the other quarterback to have the ball, what's he going to do? He's going to run down the clock. How? His running backs.
Yep.
He knows this man is a genius. Okay. He's been doing this for way too long, and what he's been doing has been working out for him. So I feel like he's going to be, if he can stay healthy. Because again, like you mentioned, he has a really good backup running back behind him in Stevenson, who, when every time he touches the ball and he's on the field, the man seems to be going for like a 70-yard touchdown every single time he's in. So, he definitely has to be careful with that. That he has somebody right behind him, like just waiting, like, okay, hopefully this man doesn't get injured. But if he does, I'm gonna take over. You know what I mean? So, and the schedule is so easy for him. 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars. That's easy. Okay. And the Patriots have a very well-balanced team, as in their O-line is not as good as their defense, but they're good enough to have their running backs produce.
Yep.
All right. So I have him at 19.
Fair.
At number 18, honestly, I was stuck at number 18. He was either going to be my number 15 or my number 18.
Okay.
All right. Now, this man got injured last season as well, and the hype was extremely high over this guy. But sadly, we weren't able to see him. I think he had an Achilles tendon injury. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what it was. But if we look at his 2020 season, he played 13 games. So he missed a couple games there.
I think
he played 13 games. He had 625 rushing yards, and he had 123 receiving yards with only 3 touchdowns. I see similar numbers to what he did in 2020. But maybe with better receiving yards and better touchdowns. Okay, those 3 touchdowns, he's definitely going to go over to like 6 or 7 touchdowns. And the receiving yards, only 123. He's going to have he's in an offense where they love to throw the ball. Okay, where the coach is a genius. Okay, so that's why I have Akers at number 18. Okay. Yes, the schedule is a little tough for him, but I feel like with that offense, they're gonna be focused so much on their wide receiver weapons that they're gonna have to spread out that defense and give Akers some chances to create plays pretty much. So that's why I have him at 18. At 17, I have, and this is the first time that I'm gonna be completing my 2 running backs from the same team. I have Aaron Jones at number 17. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Number 17. I see him regressing a little bit from running back 11, which is what he did last season, to running back 17 this season. Why? It's just because, again, same thing what I said for AJ Dillon. They're going to be off the field a little bit more than what they did last season. Why? Because they don't have that deep threat, that number 1 Hall of Fame wide receiver in Adams. So, again, he was running back 11 last season. He played only 15 games. He had 171 attempts with 799 rushing yards, 52 receptions with 391 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns. The 10 touchdowns I see regressing a bit. I don't see him going double digits just because AJ Dillon is coming in and being like, hey, listen, you guys can rely on me as well. You know what I mean? You guys can put the ball. I can handle the pressure a little bit more, especially now that Adams is gone. You know, they'll be able to rely on him a little bit more, especially to control the games. You know, if they know that they can't keep up with certain offenses, they're gonna want to control that a little bit more. And that's where AJ Dillon is gonna come in and cut into Aaron Jones' playing time, which is why I see him regressing just, you know, not that much. So that's why I have him down to number 17. And his toughness schedule is average as well. So for players like him, that's favorable for him. He's like average, that's fine. You know, that I'll take that.
You can.
So I have him at 17. And now to finish off, my number 16. This is somebody that I'm big on. I'm big on him, but you're extremely big on him. You're like, you love this guy.
I swear to God, if you say the name, I think you're gonna
say. So this is pretty much the same spot where he was at last season, where he finished off last season. So I literally just moved him up one spot. Okay, last season he was running back 17. This season I have him as running back 16. I do see him improving a bit, just not quite as the top 15 for me. Okay, I look at all these top 15 names and I'm like, he will not outproduce these top 15s. Okay, and there's a reason why. One very big reason that is like, you know, that little thorn that is like, man, like if this guy wasn't here, which is the backup running back, this guy wasn't here, this guy would definitely be like maybe top 10, maybe. Okay, and that's Javonte Williams. Okay, so he played healthy guy, a bruiser of a guy, 17 games. Okay, he had 203 attempts, almost reached 1,000 yards. He had 903 rushing yards, 43 receptions. So they throw the ball to him as well. 316 yards and 7 touchdowns. But the reason he didn't break into my top 15 is because you got Gordon back there. Okay. And Russ, this man, he's going to be throwing the ball a little bit more. Okay. I feel like he went to Denver to finally release all that, you know, what he was trying to get away from that Seattle kind of, I guess, scheme that they had of just running the ball. So I feel like he's going to want to throw the ball a little bit more. And the Denver the coaches, they're gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, that's why you're here, to throw the ball. Yeah, Tim Patrick just got, you know, he's done for the season, which sucks. And another running back as well, I forget his name. But still, it's not Gordon, which is his main competition. So his toughness of schedule is very average as well, which is fine for him because he has the skill set. He can do it all on his own. But again, it's just Gordon is gonna cut into his playing time. He's going to be the pass catcher. In my opinion, Gordon's going to be the pass catcher. And I feel like there's going to be certain plays, certain times where Javonte should be on the field, but it's not going to be him. Sadly, it's not going to be him. Why? Because you got Russ who likes to throw. He loves to throw. So I feel like he prefers to throw the ball to a pass catching running back than to hand it off. So I feel like, again, that's just my opinion. I have him at 16. I still think he's going to do amazing, just not better than my top 15. So that's what I got.
I think you're crazy for like 4 picks, but hey, it is what it is. Listen, I think you're bugging on Saquon. I think you're bugging on CMC. Aaron Jones is like, I guess the one that I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess. Javonte, I think you're crazy for thinking Melvin's a better pass catcher than Javonte, personally. I think last season showed that Javonte's the pass catcher, and like Melvin was running a little bit more. Javonte,
I think like when he was in the Chargers, I feel like people are forgetting what he was doing in the Chargers.
Yeah, but how long ago was that?
Maybe 3 seasons ago.
It's like 4 years ago. You know how old Melvin is now?
How old is Melvin?
He's 30.
Bro, that's fine. Okay, yeah, he's on a downhill, but still.
Listen,
he can catch the ball. Again, the man can catch the ball.
Again, this is why rankings are beautiful, because we have our own opinions. You think Javonte is going to be 16? I'll tell you this. We'll talk about him next week. Okay. Just like CMC and Saquon. That's all I'll say. Anyways, I'll go straight into my number 20. Okay. My number 20 is somebody that looked good his first year, and then kind of the same thing as one of your players. Didn't really get a chance to play last season because of his injury. J.K. Dobbins. Okay. I think he's a really good running back. 2020, 15 games, 134 attempts, 805 rushing yards, 18 catches, 120 receiving yards, 9 total touchdowns. Now, that was with him being kind of in a committee. And Lamar Jackson, that's the year Lamar Jackson went nuts. So it makes sense.
Right.
But again, the reason why he's not at 20, I mean, why he's at 20 and not higher is he has Lamar Jackson in front of him. Like Lamar Jackson's a run first quarterback. I don't care what you say.
That's
Like,
why I had
yes,
him so low. That's why I
he's
had him
not
so
he's
low,
not a bad
honestly.
quarterback. I'm not saying he sucks, but he's more of a running back than a quarterback to me. It's just that simple. He hasn't proven to me that okay, he throws the ball better than he runs it. To me, it's opposite. It is what it is. And yeah, and again, coming back from that injury, really tough. Gus Edwards also coming back from an injury, so they might split the work. They might like ease him in a little bit, but I think his skill set is enough for him to be at 20, not higher. I could also see him going lower to where you had him.
Yeah.
But I think 20 for now is like the sweet spot for him. At number 19, I have somebody who pisses me off because he looks good, but he doesn't produce good. Although last season he was RB10. Don't know how, but he was. Antonio Gibson.
Ooh.
I have him at 19. I like him a lot. He looks really good. You know, last season, 16 games, 258 attempts, 1,037 yards. So that's only 4 yards per run, which,
Yeah.
42 receptions, 294 yards. That to me is what makes me happy. 10 total touchdowns, by the way. Sorry. He's getting more involved as a pass catcher. And now they have a better quarterback in Carson Wentz. They have Scary Terry, who's a beast. And that's like the clear number one. Logan Thomas, if he gets healthy, could also be a good option. But I think Antonio Gibson is going to get a little bit more of the ball. Just not good enough to what he had last season, which he was RB10, right? He's going to get a good chunk amount. If he stays healthy, he could definitely hit 1,000 yards again.
Yeah.
The receptions, pretty good. 42 receptions. I could see him hitting around the same, maybe dipping to 35. It's the touchdowns, 10 total touchdowns. I don't know if he does that again, just because I know Carson Wentz is going to want to throw the ball a little bit more. And Scary Terry, it's time for him. Like, he's good. So I'm not saying that he's bad. It's just, it's time for his breakout season in the sense that, like, be the guy. Give him 1,000 and like 1,200 plus yards. Give him like 8+ touchdowns. Like, it's his season. So I think Antonio Gibson takes a dip, but he's still good enough to be 19 for me. At number 18, I have a guy who last year was RB19, so I have him going up. And the only reason why he goes up only by 1 is because his team is just absolute cheeks. David Montgomery.
Ooh, okay. I like
that. A really good running back. He's been hurt every year that he's played, except I think his rookie year. Last season, 13 games, 225 attempts, 849 yards, only 3.8 yards per carry, 42 catches, 301 yards receiving, 7 total touchdowns. Now, that was with the team that was okay. This team got worse. Somehow, some way, this team got worse. Okay. They lost their best wide receiver, the best player, Khalil Mack, and their best wide receiver, Allen Robinson.
Yep.
Montgomery got hurt. Khalil Herbert came in and he played good as a backup. So Khalil Herbert, I think, gets a little bit more touches this year. But I think if David Montgomery stays healthy and plays at least 1 or 2 more games, he can move up 1 spot. I don't see him going crazy, but I see him 844 rushing yards. Again, if he stays healthy, he could hit 900. The 300 receiving yards, he could probably go to 350. 7 total touchdowns, maybe goes to 8 or 9, but nothing exponentially crazy where like, oh my God, he's top 15, top 10. I think 18 is fine for him. I like him there. At 17, I have a guy that I love because he helped me get into playoffs 2 seasons ago. And like you said, last season, he only played 1 game. Cam Akers. Okay. Cam Akers is a really
18, you said?
I have him 17. So 1 higher than you.
By 1.
Yeah, 1 higher than you. Okay. Cam Akers was really, really good. I like what I saw from him. I remember it was a Thursday night game. I think it was against the Patriots where he went nuts in 2020. He looks really good. He's in an offense where, like you said, Sean McVay, absolute genius. Matthew Stafford at quarterback, Cooper Kupp at wide receiver. Like, the holes will be there because they have to worry about Cooper Kupp. Allen Robinson, who I just talked about, is now in the Rams. So they have to worry about, like, okay, how do we stop these two? And then Cam Akers will be like, hi, boom. No more Sony Michel. Yes, I know Darrell Henderson was the guy last season, but that's because Cam Akers was hurt. Cam Akers is back. Darrell Henderson is going to take a back seat. I think he just produces obviously much better than last season because he only played 1 game. But I think he goes a little bit better than 2 years ago as well. 145 attempts, 625 rushing yards. I think he hits 170 attempts, 750, maybe 800 rushing yards. Only 11 catches, 123 receiving yards. I think he's going to get to at least 20 catches and at least maybe like 150 or 200 receiving yards. 3 total touchdowns that first year. He definitely goes up. Like,
100%.
Definitely goes up. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like him a lot. I think he has a great skill set. He's in the probably the one of the best offenses in the league, one of the best coaches. I just don't see
Without a
him.
doubt.
I just don't see him dropping from 2020. I think he goes up to 17. At number 16, started with the Cowboys. I'll end with the Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott is my number 16.
Interesting.
He has dipped so much. I remember there was a point where he was like, no doubt, top 3, top 5. Now we're talking about, for me, number 16. Like,
Yeah.
the dip has been real. Last season, 17 games, 237 attempts, 1,002 yards. I remember he played against the Eagles just to make sure he gets the 1,000 yards. And once he did, they took him off. It was so weird for me, but whatever. 47 receptions, 287 receiving yards, 12 total touchdowns. That's the reason why he went so good yet last year. He had RB7. I think those numbers dip. So looking at receiving alone, from 2018 to now, he had 77 catches in 2018, 54 2019, 52 2020, and only 47 last year. I think that keeps dipping. Yes, I know there's no more Amari. Yes, I know what I said with Tony Pollard, same thing. I know there's a lot of injuries at the wide receiver position. I think Tony Pollard's the guy to catch the ball. I think they're going to give Zeke a little bit more end zone work. You know, I know Jerry Jones came out and said this has to be Zeke's team. We have to make him the primary guy. Again, that's just talk. I think he does rush more than Tony Pollard, but I think Tony Pollard's the pass catching back.
Yeah.
And that's going to help Tony Pollard a lot and hurt Zeke a lot. I don't think he enters the top 10. I got him just outside the top 15.
Yeah.
Honestly, just because they're the Cowboys, it could shock me. He goes into the top 10 again, but I just don't see him hitting 1,000 rushing yards. I hope not, but I think he gets hurt again. Misses a few games, goes under 1,000 yards. Again, drops receptions, drops receiving yards, and that total 12 total touchdowns. I see him going to like 8. I see it dipping to like 8. I don't see him in that echelon again. So, you know, and it's not because, you know, I don't like the Cowboys, because I don't, but that's not the reason why I got him at 16. I just think he is dipping. And yeah, I don't see him going higher than that. So I got him at 16, running off my part 1, and part 2 will be next week, where you'll be shocked. That's all I'll say.
Interesting. All right. Well, you know what? We finished off this first round of running backs. So it's time to decompress now and go into the EOE.
The EOE, the chill session.
Yes.
The easy part.
Yes. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about soccer. Well, you know what? I actually have a question for you. It has to do with football, though. Yeah. I wasn't able to catch the Hall of Fame game. So I would like for you to talk to us about that, or what you thought were some pointers that you saw, or some things that kind of stuck out to you.
Yeah, well, let me start off with this. I didn't catch the Hall of Fame game either.
Never mind. Does not start off like that then. I thought you saw it.
No, I didn't see it. I know it's like backups or backups or whatever.
The highlights. Jacksonville's defense is gonna be sick.
Told you.
Walker is nice.
Told you.
Like nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So, you know, let's we're gonna be shifting a little bit into soccer. All right, soccer is back. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you start us off.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like we said at the beginning, you know, Premier League is back, Ligue 1 is back, Bundesliga is back. Although to me, Bundesliga is back and it's over already because Bayern Munich are gonna win again.
Did you see that? 6-1.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And they beat a pretty decent team in Frankfurt, who was.
Oh, they're good. They were in the Europa League.
They won the Europa League. No, they weren't in it. They won the Europa League.
Yeah, true.
So, you know, and I mean, 6-1. Literally, season just started, season just ended. Just like Ligue 1. PSG is going to win, and season just started, season just ended.
Pretty much, yeah.
The one thing I want to get into before we move on to the future leagues, La Liga and Serie A next week, Premier League. A lot of these teams have improved, have, you know, shaped up their rosters, and some of them beefed up. I want to challenge you with something. I want you to tell me your top 6. Who are the top 4 making Champions League, and who are the 2 Europa League spots? Or if you want top 8, because that's the bottoms 2, 7 and 8 will be Conference League.
I think
obviously way too early predictions because only week 1, but
I think Liverpool takes it all.
Okay.
I think City's right behind them. Got it. I got Chelsea being 3rd.
Okay.
I have, so that's three of those teams going to Champions League. I have Tottenham going back to Champions League in 4th. I have Manchester United 5th. I have Arsenal sixth. I have Wolves seventh, and I have West Ham eighth.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I personally think it's going to be Man City champ again, Liverpool second, Tottenham third. You literally, oh no, yeah, Chelsea. Arsenal fourth, Man U fifth, Chelsea sixth, West Ham seventh, and eighth. It might be a little favoritism. Leeds United.
Interesting.
So they have, my boy Sinistera, my boy Tyler Adams, a couple more Americans. But
if Raphinha left,
yeah, he's in the best club in the world now. But if
he might not even play.
He's going to be a starter
for you guys.
He's going to be a starter. It's going to be
he
him.
Might not even play.
It's going to be him.
Bro, Lewandowski might not even play. You got Raphinha who might not even play.
First of all, why are you calling him Raphinha? It's Raphinha.
Oh. I completely forgot about the age.
Oh my god. But yeah, no. What do you mean Lewandowski might not even play?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the news that they said they cannot.
They haven't registered him yet.
Yeah, that you can't register them until they level out their, I guess, their debt.
Yeah, no, Barca already. We'll talk about that in a bit. But again, my eighth, I got Leeds just because a little favoritism. Can't lie. But if I'm being a little bit more realistic, at eighth, I got probably something like either Wolves or Aston Villa. They look really good, but I hope it's Leeds. But now that we shift into the La Liga talk, yeah, Barca has signed a couple good players, to say the least. Kessie for free, Christensen for free, who I think would be our third, maybe fourth option center back, but that's good. That's good depth. Koundé, who's going to be our starter next to Araujo. Can't wait for that. He might not start. You're crazy. Lewandowski, the marquee signing, and Raphinha. And then obviously we renewed Dembele. We have to register them, and they already sent the documentation out. La Liga is reviewing it to see if everything's good with the financial fair play and the salary caps and whatever.
Not happening.
I mean, I read an article today that said that
they just did the worst mistakes of their lives going to Barca.
It looks like La Liga is going to improve it, and they'll be able to play for us. And then Lewandowski is going to score a hat trick against Real Madrid when we play you guys. There was a quote that he said that he had 5 goals in life for Lewandowski. He says number 1 goal was to play for Barca, and his other 4 goals he scored against Real Madrid.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited if we get them to get registered. That's gonna be we're gonna be such a good team. Like our depth is finally insane. I think we can compete again finally because just the front line alone. The front line, in my opinion, starters should be Lewandowski, and on each side either Raphinha and Dembele or Raphinha and Fati. And then our bench is the other one, Dembele or Fati, Ferran Torres and Aubameyang, because it looks like Memphis is going to be leaving.
Yeah, they hit dirty, man.
Then the midfield depth, Kessie, the young, who seems like he won't leave, thank God. Pedri, Gavi, Nico, Busquets. God. And then our defense is finally good. Serginho Dest, Araujo, Koundé, Christensen, Eric Garcia, and Piqué. The only thing I have an issue with is the left back. Jordi Alba's still good, but we need somebody back there. The young
Cucurella didn't go.
We could have signed Cucurella. That's crazy. How much did Chelsea sign him for? 60 mil or something?
60, I think 60.
I mean, to me, it's stupid that
it's crazy that you guys had him.
We had him. We really just said. I mean, in a way though, I get it because some of these players say, you know what, I know I have the quality. I'm just not gonna break it into the team yet. I gotta go. Sometimes it's not us that want to let him go. They're just like, yo, I gotta go. It's happened with him. It's happened with Dani Olmo. It's happened with a few players where they're like, I know I have it in me. It's just I'm not gonna be able to break it. Look at Thiago. Thiago's to me the perfect example. Thiago Alcantara. He knew he wasn't gonna bench Xavi, Iniesta, or Busquets at the time, and then fourth was Fabregas. So he said, you know what, I gotta move on. Went to Bayern, went crazy. Now he's at Liverpool. It is what it is. Yeah. Sometimes that just happens. But yeah, I do think we need a left back. I know we're in talks for Marcus Alonso, and I'm just like, why?
I heard you guys sent a bid for Trent.
Nah, I doubt that. Trent, first of all, 1, I wouldn't want him. 2, Trent would cost at least 70 mil.
Yeah, I think 80.
Yeah, I don't even think he's worth 80. But I know that's what Liverpool asked for. the Marcus Alonso signing, I'm like, come on, we've had such a good window. Why are we gonna mess it up? Like Alonso's not that good. He's worse than Jordi Alba. Like he's slow as hell. Yes, he's good with the ball
But
at his
he's nice with
feet.
the crossing,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Like his like the ball at his feet, he's really good. But he's slow. Like we don't need a slower player. We need a faster player. You know, and somebody that could defend. Marcus Alonso can't really defend that well. Not at least
So
not
who
better.
would you get?
That's the problem though. There's not really many left backs out there right now. Like elite left backs that we could be like, yes, we need you. Like Cucurella to me would have been perfect, but we're not paying 60 mil for him. I really like Gaia from Valencia, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. And I like Grimaldo because he's like a faster Alonso. He's
And
really
he
good with the
played
ball
for
at the
you
feet.
guys.
Yes, but the only issue Grimaldo has is he can't really defend well. He's a liability on defense, which is what we're looking to improve. Jordi Alba is really good offensively. He's a liability on defense. So we're looking to improve that. So it's like, I guess why I get why
You guys might just have to transition one of your center backs down to
either that. I know,
left back.
I know another option that we're talking about is that young kid Balde who looks really good in preseason, giving him another shot or playing with a back three. I mean, we have so many center backs. It makes sense. It wouldn't make sense not to like Kunde, Araujo, and then either Christensen or Eddie Garcia. Like that to me, that's fine. You know,
So that opens up another position up in midfield.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how it's gonna work. You know, I trust Xavi to do his thing. We gave him the depth he wanted. We gave him basically everybody he wanted for the most part. And I know we're still somehow looking into Bernardo Silva, even if Frankie stays. And I'm just like, first of all, why?
Yeah.
Second of all, how? So I don't know how the levelers are working. I don't know what we're doing, what we're selling, how much money we're getting, but apparently it's working out. La Liga is about to approve it. Let's see what happens. We got a week.
Let's see.
But yeah, they got to be registered, I think, by Wednesday for them to officially be able to play on Saturday, because then the squad has to drop Thursday. I don't know.
We'll definitely be updating everybody next week.
Absolutely. But as of right now, that's the that's the state of the leagues. You know, Premier League is back. Big shock already. Liverpool tied 2-2 with Fulham.
I'm happy Nunez scored. Nunez scored.
A beauty too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they were playing away, so always a little tougher. But you know, it started off with that. Tottenham won 4-1. Arsenal won 2-0. They looked really good. I really like how Arsenal looks. I think Gabriel Jesus has fit in like a glove, like we said he would. So
let's see if that always happens in the beginning. That always happens in the beginning with Arsenal, bro.
I don't know. The last 2 years, in the beginning, Arsenal was actually started off losing and looking bad. So I'm excited to see like this little change, I guess you can say. But
again, they're like the Mets. They're like the Mets.
Hey. We're first place still. I don't want to hear it. At this time, and any other year, and any other year, right now we dip to like fourth place, and we'd be like, well, we're out of playoffs. So put some respect on it.
Seriously.
But yeah, in terms of soccer, like, you know, everything's starting up, so we're gonna be able to bring you more content about soccer.
Also, you guys are second, by the way, but whatever. I had to look it up. Dodgers are first.
I'm talking about in our division.
I'm talking about.
Oh, we're talking about the conference. Yeah, the Dodgers are number one. I think isn't the Dodgers the number one team in baseball? Period. You guys are second.
No, relax.
I'm pretty sure you guys are second. So
wait, man, we dipped.
Told you. Yeah, it's Dodgers and then you.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. You're right. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, you're right. I can't believe the Yankees let up, man.
It happened. Hey, listen.
We let the Astros catch up to us.
I'll tell you this.
Dodgers catch up, man. We're on a 3-game losing streak.
I'll tell you this personally. As long as I've always said, as long as the team makes playoffs in a decent spot, I don't care. We could be first, we could be third. Just make playoffs and win the damn thing. So the Mets could end up third from the NL.
We can still hope. We can still hope for that New York, that Subway World Series.
And if it goes the way it went in the regular season, we'd be 2-0 up right now. So
relax.
Let's see how it ends. But yeah, no, you know, that's about it. Basketball's still in the off season, NFL, NHL as well. NFL is almost here. Preseason starts next week, and before you know it, fantasy has started. Real life NFL has started, and we'll be sitting in our couches.
The drafts are right around the corner.
The drafts are here, baby. And then you know, we'll be sitting in the couch on Sundays, stressing, checking our fantasy apps all day. Like, okay, am I winning? Yeah. What's the score? Did somebody score for me? You know, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited.
We're co-managing. We ended up co-managing another team.
Yeah, we just joined another league, and we're co-managing again. Probably gonna kill it again, like always. But yeah, you know, that's about it. In terms of our league, the Two Bros One Pod, we are starting it. We're going to officially create the league, and we're going to invite the people that have joined. The league is full. I think we're probably going to hold off on the second league and just either do that next season, or if you guys are interested in joining the league, we'll put you on a wait list. Now, again, if we get more than like 10 people next season, we'll probably make a second league because I doubt we'll
Yeah.
have time to make a second league for this year because
Yeah, no.
we want to draft within.
It's
the
better
next 2
to, and
weeks.
it's better to just focus on this one league.
Right.
You know what I'm
So-
saying? It's the first year. Let's
Yeah.
just make it one league. Focus on this one league.
Make it successful, and then again next year we'll probably run 2 leagues if we have more people. But yeah,
Yeah.
this league is finally full. We're ready to go. We're probably gonna kick it off in a few days, and I'm excited to kick butt in every fantasy league I play in.
Oh yeah, it's gonna
It's
be
gonna be
fun.
exciting. It's gonna be exciting. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
There were some fights. You know, again with these past 2 weeks that we haven't recorded, there were some really good fights.
Mhm.
The main one was Amanda Nunes versus
Juliana Pena.
the lioness herself, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. She got destroyed. Amanda Nunes came out like the lioness that she is, man, and she made Pena look like a rookie out there. It was bad, like embarrassing. I don't know if there's gonna be a third fight because now, regardless whether doesn't matter how you lost or how you won, they're 1-1 now. So I don't know if she gets that immediate rematch. But regardless, man, I really don't know who can beat this woman. She's a beast. She is an animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's now, I think also sometime last week it was confirmed that in Madison Square Garden is going to be Adesanya versus Pereira
Yep, I saw
for
that.
the title. So that fight is going to be insane. I wish I had the money to go see it because that would be amazing. I
That's
mean,
gonna
hey,
be-
my birthday is in November, so if you guys want to do like like
If you
some
guys
money for me,
if you guys want to donate
please.
to
I don't
the
mind.
to the send J to UFC, whatever number it is, you're more than welcome to.
Seriously, it
Um,
would be
yeah, it's gonna be
281. 281.
Send #send J to UFC 281. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fight. It's gonna be expensive as hell too, but it's gonna be an interesting fight. I'm actually excited for it, and I don't even like UFC like that. So
This is the guy, for those of you that don't know, this is the guy that Adesanya has lost to twice.
Yep.
Twice. So if anybody knows Adesanya's weaknesses, it's Pereira. It's this
Pereira.
guy.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that. Other than that, man, I got nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm good as well. You know, like we already talked about the leagues, a couple UFC fights. Again, no basketball, no hockey. Football's almost here. You know, we already had the Hall of Fame game. I didn't watch it. I know you didn't watch it either, right?
I didn't watch it now, man. I
Yeah,
was knocked
so-
out. Bro, I'm going to sleep like at 8, latest
Yeah.
8:30 every night. That's how hard this academy is.
Yeah, so you know, football's almost here though, and that's
Yeah,
when
I'm
we'll
excited.
really get into it. So, you know, that does it for us this week.
Yeah, man. Hey, next week we're gonna continue with our top 15 running backs. There's gonna be more shocks for sure. I'm sure we're definitely not gonna agree on a couple of things because
Yeah.
obviously some guys that I have this week, you're gonna have next week. So it's gonna be interesting. So hey man, I'm glad we're back. Hopefully, obviously our times have changed a little bit from recording and posting during the week to now having to post in the weekend. But hey man, we adapt and overcome. So
Exactly.
we're back, baby. Two bros, one pod.
We're back, baby. We're back like we never left. Peace.
Peace.